Welcome to the first episode of Money Trees. I am your host, Khufu, Khufu, joined by the Gen Z Exec herself.
What's up?
Princesses,
I'm weak. I love
Sierra is in the building, kind of. Well, virtually in the building.
Virtually.
You're in the space. I wonder what they call that. Is that because Clubhouse had the hallway in the rooms? What is spaces? I don't know. We're floating around.
Yeah, we're chilling.
Someone be real. C and I already did a dry run yesterday. This will be the only dry run that exists. The rest of these will probably be a lot more hectic, a lot more chaotic. But we can just jump right into it. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us what started you on this Web3 journey?
Yeah, so hey, I'm Sierra, also known as the Gen Z Exec. If you would have asked me this like 3 months ago, I would have said I'm a brand strategist. But Web3 has kind of shifted my focus a bit, so we're kind of going through a transition right now. But yeah, I was basically introduced to Web3 really through the metaverse sector with my background in entertainment. I obviously want to learn more about virtual concerts and really try to understand like what's the best way to expand on that, enhance the experiences of audience members and consumers. But NFTs actually really piqued my interest in Web3 once I found out that, my grandfather, when he passed, left all his artwork to me and my mom. So that kind of sparked the whole like rabbit hole for me, really.
So can you talk about that art that you had? Because I know we had spoke on it a little bit, but it was a pretty cool story. So if you want to elaborate more.
Oh my God, yeah, for sure. So basically, my grandfather was a self-taught artist. He was blind in one eye. And he was always creating things like with his hands, like just from his own like internal wisdom and stuff like that. And so it was a family tradition. Like we would trade his art within like our family members and stuff like that. He never sold his art, which was like beyond me, which is crazy to me. But he never like actually sold it for monetary gain. He always gave it away as gifts. And he was a reverend too. So all of his pieces had very like significant stories and meaning behind them. And he would like create pictures from cigarette ashes and pencil shavings and really turn them into like these beautiful sculptures and pieces of art. And so I'm planning to do like an NFT drop just to keep his legacy alive in the digital sphere. So that kind of really piqued my interest. So yeah.
No, that's
I'm not gonna cry on here.
It's such a beautiful story, and like it's crazy that thinking about him never having sold it,
Yeah.
And now you guys being able to really keep that legacy digitally forever now.
No, for real.
I think it's kind of crazy. Do you know how you would go about the project yet? Do you know like what platform you're looking at? Have you thought about any of that?
Not yet. Like my mom is kind of like, Sierra, you're spearheading this. So not as of yet. I know like with his art, because a lot of them were like 3D. It's like weird because they were 2D, like I want to say paintings because they had 3D aspects to it. So you could feel it and feel the textures and stuff. So I'm thinking of scanning it and making them into 3D assets, but platform wise, I'm not too sure. I've obviously considered OpenSea just because it's the most accessible. I have considered Zora. So we'll see. I don't know.
You know what you got to do? You have to use, shout out to the guys at Muse.
Yes.
But you need to use that LiDAR scanner and you could make like an actual gallery using the art and kind of use that as your gallery space, marketplace, whatever you want to call it. They added multiplayer.
When? Because I literally just had a meeting
yesterday. It was crazy. I was like,
so he added it after our meeting. Oh, I fucking love Steven for that. Like literally, I'm so serious. We had a meeting yesterday and I was like, listen, like I need that multiplayer, like no joke. And he was like, okay, well, like I'll email you and I'll let you know. I didn't get any emails, but he updated it. So shout out to Muse.
Yeah, they posted it on their Discord and there were a few other updates because they're going to be gone for the holidays.
Yeah.
And it was like the last footnote. And I'm like, bro, multiplayer, what?
Yeah.
For the people that don't know, Muse is a virtual world building, platform we want to call them. Yeah. But it's sick. It doesn't require an app. You can sign up. You can start creating right away. There's an app called, I think it's like LiDAR scanner. Mm-hmm. You take a couple hundred pictures of something. It creates a 3D model of whatever it is you took a picture of in real life. And then it allows you to import it into this gallery. So like in C's case, it would be crazy with her grandfather's physical art to be displayed in a gallery. People could walk up to it in the gallery, click it, and then purchase the NFT but have kind of experienced it in a way that, they may not be able to go there in person, but it's a lot more than looking at just a single scan of it. So it's cool that they allow you to add those layers into it.
I'm about to be on Muse all day after this.
So obviously we're a little biased since both of our sites have been sites of the day on Muse already. Yo, but some of the other sites have been crazy, yo.
They've been wild. Like, especially a lot of the scavenger hunts, too.
Scavenger hunts. I haven't beat any of them.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I haven't beat any of the scavenger hunts.
Yo, there's like this one, I think it's on the featured worlds page on Muse's main platform, and it's really creepy, but I like it from a strategist standpoint of like, it's like this really black room, and there's like this 3D house, and you go in the house, and basically you have to find like these key words that spell out a phrase, and then once you put the phrase in, you get access to the project's Discord and stuff like that. So it's really cool. I really fucking love them, and they just, I don't know, the way they nurture creativity and the personal relation that you have with the team is just really dope to me. So shout out to Muse.
Shout out to the Muse team. We can actually kind of stick on the Muse vibe, because your world that was crazy, the one that they put on there was your resume, or well, not your resume, but like your digital office.
Yeah.
The wild world is the one that you haven't dropped yet. It's that, well, let me not even intro that project. Can you please talk to us about Zodiac Games?
Yes. So this is like my brain baby. So if I like start rambling and going on tangents, please check me, because I can talk about the Zodiac Games for hours. But basically,
I love tangents. What is focus?
No, seriously. But yeah, so I have a TV series in development right now called the Zodiac Games. And really, honestly, Web3 has also become just a huge inspiration for our strategies of execution too, like even on a creative level with the world. But at its core, the Zodiac Games is a social experiment that basically uses astrology as like a celestial lens, if you will, to observe the behavior and interactions of our contestants. So we have 12 representatives of all 12 zodiac signs. So you'll have a Virgo, you have a Cancer, you have a Scorpio, you have a Taurus, all that stuff. And basically they'll embark on a journey of self and social discovery through a variety of challenges. So like their mind, body, and soul is going to be put to the test. It's like, the best way I can describe it is like bringing the game of the heavens to the humans. Like, that's the best way I can describe it.
I love that. What, oh my gosh, I forgot what I was about to say to you. Thinking on, it's episode 1. Yes. See, this is, I think we talked about it yesterday. Like the fact that we're going to do a dry run, it's going to be supernatural, and we're going to hit points and then try to like recreate them. And it'll feel like, not manufactured, but just different. So, quick side note, all of these, whoever's listening, and you'll notice it as it grows, that it's meant to be like conversation. So we're going to have topics, we're going to have focuses, but as C said, we tend to go on tangents when we chop anyway. So expect quite a few of those.
Yeah.
But back to the Zodiac Games. What Zodiac sign are you?
I'm a Virgo. I'm not going to get into the big 3.
Virgo season.
Oh,
what is it? It's Capricorn season? I'm incorrect. I think it's Virgo season year round, but that's just because clearly I'm a September Virgo.
The superior. But yeah, it is Capricorn season, and like the new year to me doesn't really start until March, because that's when Aries season starts. So my new year is actually based on like the astrological, but we're not going to go all the way into that. That's another space for another day. But
please, I didn't realize like people were moving on different calendars. I felt kind of dumb when I saw that. Like the Lunar New Year is completely different. The Hebrew calendar, they're in like the year 5000 right now.
Yeah. Like it's crazy. And I mean, I will say, I'm noticing there's a lot of people getting into like their own spiritual journey and, trying to understand the questions of life and, just trying to get some answers to a lot of the uncertainty going on. And that's where the Zodiac Games comes in. So it's exciting.
So I know we talked about doing it as a television show.
Yes.
Right? Is that still the plan? You're still gonna look to put it to production as a series?
As of right now, yes, but since you guys are here, I'm just gonna give you guys the real tea. The Zodiac Games is a TV show, but it's much bigger than that. It's actually a diversified portfolio of an entertainment brand. So we have a lot of subsidiaries and different aspects of our transmedia business model, which is basically different levels of medium all coming together to tell one collective story across different platforms. And so to answer your question, yes, because the show is the introduction to the larger brand at hand. So yes.
Okay, so we have the NFT angle. We have the show angle. How else can we fit the Zodiac Games into Web3? What else does that look like?
Well, we definitely have a concept album in the works. You actually heard like our our little, I don't know what to call it now, but it's a demo.
Theme songs, you got to stick with theme song for now because people get it. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a theme song. Like if I could walk into a room somewhere and every time I walked in, my theme song played, there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so we have a first draft theme song because it has a lot of work to do. But yeah, we do have a first draft theme song that we have right now, planning to maybe drop as an NFT, maybe I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. But yes, perfect example. Another way to expand the Zodiac Games in Web3 is definitely a concept album. 12 songs, of course, each inspired by the signs. But this could be a little ambitious, but I know for me, ideally, I would like obviously each song inspired by that sign, but that song could only be produced, written, and performed by that sign. So like the Aries song is only produced, written, and recorded by Aries creators, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, for each sign.
That's kind of cold.
Yeah.
We getting Beyonce for the Virgos?
Of course. No one else.
Wait. Well, on that note, what? Because I'm not familiar with a lot of the like artist signs. Who would be your dream feature?
I mean, you already said her, but we can go to the second one. No, because like here's the thing, right? Like, and this is where I can go into my Zodiac tangent, which I know today really isn't about that. But just here's a quick thing about Beyonce. Beyonce is a Virgo sun. I'm a Virgo sun, but she's also a Scorpio moon, and I'm a Scorpio moon. So, we have other placements that are similar too, but those are the main two that most people know about. So I'll just leave it at that for now. But I just really resonate with Beyonce on an internal level. So I just feel like even if she just executive produced the album, I would be okay with that. Like, because our minds, like, I feel like, cause mental stimulation is so important to me. So I feel like her mind would just get it. And, like, she would just enhance it on a different level. And if she wanted to record, then obviously, like, the answer is yes. But if not, like, that's cool, too. But outside of Beyonce, really, someone I think would be really cool, especially for this type of project, is Janae. Because she's already in the whole like frequency, vibration, music, spirituality, that type of stuff. So it's just really on brand, and her voice is so beautiful. So yeah,
I love like when people use artists just first names. It makes it sound so like, oh, just Janae. Like who? Oh, Janae Aiko. No, I got it.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, what? Yeah.
No, I forgot. See, low key industry. We know what's up.
Oh my god.
Conversation for another day. I get it. No need for the name drops. Y'all got to know you're in the room with the Gen Z Exec.
Oh my
gosh. Yo, so it's wild because Beyonce sounds like, oh my gosh, like damn, like is that a dream feature? But I think one of the things I love with the space is that it's high key possible. Couple of connections and then the right bag, and that can happen. Yeah, I feel like crowdfunding. Oh no, what's up?
No, I'm claiming that. I'm claiming that energy. So yeah.
Like if you did a crowdfund, right, and you're like, yo, we're getting Beyonce for the record, and I got to name drop a little bit here. You used to work for her publicist, y'all. Like this is not a far-fetched idea that we're talking about here.
I will say this. Has it crossed my mind of like working with Beyonce on that level? Of course. And it is possible. And I'm super open to that. I think it's just like, people are still learning what ways to embrace Web3, especially in the entertainment space. And you already know, like, and this is no shade to labels or anything like that, but they're already like, they say that they embrace the new, but they really don't. And so they're already like 5 years behind. So I think from a crowdfund standpoint, the independent route is definitely going to be, I hate using the word disruptor because everyone is using it. So I'm trying to find a different word, but I would definitely love to challenge the status quo within this space and doing something like that. So you're planting seeds as you usually do. So we'll see where this leads in the next year or
I
so.
feel like, well, yes, we are planting seeds. We're gonna come back and watch this have flourished, or is that? Yeah, plants flourish. Speaking on labels, Wallet. Well, real quick, last thing I'm gonna say on the Beyonce thing is, did you see the picture that TF posted with her on like his flashback on Instagram a couple weeks ago?
Yes.
I was like, God damn, man, Tony be living.
I love it. Tony lives his best life, and I'm here for it. Shout out to Tony.
Shout out to Mr. Fergs. Labels and Web3, definitely a topic for another time. But did you see what happened with Gunna and Bored Ape?
Yes. Yeah. I just did like a few hours ago.
Did you see the tattoo?
I was like, I did.
So let me put on my tinfoil hat real quick. Now,
okay.
I'm no dot connector, but MoonPay, who says that Gunna... Well, let's actually backtrack. There was a Post Malone video with The Weeknd, two of the biggest artists in the world. And the press highlight was the fact that Post Malone bought a Bored Ape, which is a profile picture project. I'm forgetting these guys' names, the people who made it, but it's Bored Ape Yacht Club. And it's a blue chip NFT, which is, you guys think Wolf of Wall Street, like the top types of stocks. Anyway, so Post Malone buys this Bored Ape in this video with The Weeknd, and it was a huge press headline. But the thing that is kind of throwing me off is it was done through this company called MoonPay. And from what I know with a lot of these artists, in a way, a lot of these Web3 kind of influencer projects, we'll say, they're paying a lot of money and also giving away really expensive assets for these artists to endorse them. Now, I'm not saying that none of these artists and athletes are buying it themselves, but now let's look at Gunna. Gunna went and got a Bored Ape, but not only did he buy a Bored Ape, he tatted it on his leg with a MoonPay representative there in the room with him. And I just can't see a world where Gunna spends 6 figures on a ape and then tats it on him without them getting paid. So I'm a little skeptical of it, but that's just me.
Good analogy.
You know, like it's weird. It's like MoonPay. What are you doing? Like, how is MoonPay making money? Are the artists paying MoonPay? Not a chance. Not a chance that that's what's going on there. But
oh my God,
we won't ever see those contracts.
Right.
Good old labels. I think labels have a place here in Web3. I think
I don't most definitely.
Because you need PR, you need marketing, for your.
Yep. Well, here's the thing. Here's where the publicist hat comes in, and this is what piques my interest about Web3 on a social scale. Like, it's already a known fact that Instagram is on its last legs. And, people are trying to diversify their social experience. I wouldn't be surprised if platforms like Mirror or like there's like Web3 like media platforms and stuff like that. But I also wouldn't be surprised if there's like, so you know how like with Web 1, it was very traditional PR, like let me reach out to this outlet, blah, 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 whatever. Web 2, it's like social media, let me hit up the blogs, the shade room, all that stuff, talk to pops, all that stuff. I would be very interested in seeing if there becomes like virtual bloggers, like influencers, but just bloggers, and they talk about things where their identity is like concealed, and it becomes like just like regular, I don't know, like like media outlets, but the media outlet is the virtual like influencer blogger type thing, if that makes sense.
No, it makes complete sense. I think that it's really interesting you bring up the kind of anonymity of the voices, where I think that there's a lot of pros and cons in this space with that. So if you have these bloggers that start to kind of become known for, we want to say, their input, and they're anonymous, how do people start to develop that trust? Like, can you even trust these people that are now hiding behind these cartoon character identities?
I mean, people trust little Michaela.
Little Michaela scares me. So does Sophia. The AI robots freak me out. But yeah, remember? Well, obviously when we worked with, I don't know if this is giving out sauce. Maybe I.
It's okay.
I'm like, wait a second.
It's already out.
Is this public information? You know what? No, because I'm just gonna bleep his name out since it's not. Okay. But he was using AI. What's it called? Like an AI production suite, where essentially the computer would produce like 40, 50 songs a day with a little bit of guidance, and then he comes in after the fact and just takes the best elements of that. And so when I think about these digital characters and these, anonymous characters, it's like, yo, who is really behind this? Like, are these Russian bots? Let me take my tinfoil hat off. But are these people that are misrepresenting who they are in, IRL and what that's like? But on the flip side, it's dope because some people can just be judged on the merit of their content and the quality of their work. And I think it's going to be an interesting development that we have here in the space, and it'll be fun to see how that grows. I know that no time soon I'll be rocking any profile picture projects, but that's just me.
I mean, I think it's really interesting that you say that about, do you know who's who? Because I think that's one of the reasons why I actually like watching little Michaela, because the team behind her makes it known that they're behind the project. And I think this goes into conversation about transparency, and really just about, that authenticity about what the project is, what's it about, all this stuff like that. Honestly, to be very quite frank, I haven't found a profile picture project that really pleases me visually, where I would want it to be my profile picture. There's like projects that are profile picture projects that I like the intention behind the project, but visually it's just not stimulating yet. So we'll see what happens. I'm not against it, but we'll see.
No, I'm here. I think so. Yeah, let me say that I haven't seen any yet. I'm not completely against it, and I think that there are a lot of dope things that come with it, with the community, the kind of, because it's like if you buy into Bored Ape, there is a really large kind of I don't know if virtual signaling is not the right word, but it's a status symbol. Like, hey, I can afford to be here, and people are going to say, all right, well, if he has this, then maybe this validates him in some other way, kind of how blue checks work. Mm-hmm. But then it goes into that same trick bag where there's a lot of times people think because someone's verified that what they're saying is correct. And
accurate.
We know that is not the case. But I wanted to touch on one last thing in regards to the profile picture project and Zodiac Games. Yeah. Again, our dry run, we had so many gems that we're like, yeah. No, I think it was good because the dry run just proved that there will be no more dry runs. All of this is just going to happen in the wild. Yesterday, C made a really, really dope connection between Coven and Zodiac Games. And if you could just kind of rehash some of that.
I mean, okay. I mean, I guess where should I start? I mean, I guess I've just noticed
astrology, Black women in the space.
Yeah. I mean,
telling great narratives.
This is true. Okay, I will say this. A project that I really respect in the space is Coven. Just because of the relatability between the different witches, and they have their own, it's not just visually they're different, but just even the backstory behind each witch was really interesting. And you want to learn more, and you wanted to, I don't know, a big word that keeps popping up for me in Web3, and even with my show, the Zodiac Games, is discovery. And so I think you're discovering about this, NFT witch as much as you would discover about yourself through astrology if you didn't really know much about, your sign and things like that of that nature. I think a lot of Black women in the Web3 space are on a spiritual journey. I was also just in a space earlier talking about, healing through NFTs and Web3 and like attracting and manifesting like financial, physical, and spiritual abundance through Web3. So I definitely think there's a really big spiritual undertone on the creative side, which makes me even more confident in the Zodiac Games' potential impact in Web3 space. I think it's just more so really solidifying what that ideal impact would be. But yeah, we definitely plan on utilizing NFTs though.
Oh, I'm missing my soundboard. I wanted to let off so many little money counter in that. Just gem after gem after gem. Man, I think it is so important for especially Black women, but people as a whole to find the connectivity that NFTs provide and not treat it solely as a way to make money, because it is a financial derivative if you decide that's what you want it to be. At the end of the day, it's a way to show it's a way to show ownership digitally. And that ownership is something we've been like, it's kind of been like taken away from us. We've never ever had that chance to have ownership in any of the things that we're doing.
That's true.
And to circle back, I saw a tweet from Sursu, and he was like, yo, like, stop saying you're supporting Black women and just do it. And I think that there's this opportunity now with tons of artists in the space that are starting to get recognition, still nowhere near where it needs to be. But it's the first time I can say like I'm actually hopeful. And I'm relatively cynical about a lot of that stuff because of things like the profile pictures and kind of removing those barriers. And not that it becomes an aha moment of like, oh, you didn't know that a Black woman was behind this. But now all of a sudden people are they're not able to judge as quickly. And so that does become one of those pros of those of like the PFP projects and kind of that identity concealing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta figure that out.
I think also like a lot of NFT projects that get a lot of traction and publicity are the profile picture projects. And so I know with us, we're definitely not, what's the best way? It's not a profile picture project, but you'll still have that connection where you would want to rep your NFT. So like, even with us, and I can just be fully transparent here, basically we're kind of shifting the perspective of how we want our NFT to have utility and be an asset to like the buyer. And so we figured out like, you know, the NFT could be a potential like producer's badge. So they get, you know, certain AP credits and stuff like that, access to our Bible. So I don't know how they would rep that publicly yet. I don't know. Like, I think there has to be some type of other form of verification outside of a profile picture project. I just don't know what that is yet.
I think the profile picture projects have so much steam just because they were kind of the first ones to catch, but they're not the killer use case for me. And I will go on record saying that 98% of the profile picture projects that we see today will not be able or will not be around in a year from now. It's just, I don't think it's feasible. They will have to evolve. Not that profile picture projects won't be around, but these kind of copycat, no utility, crazy long roadmaps into the future with teams that have never run businesses before. Mm-hmm. It's a recipe for disaster. So I would not stress on not having figured out the exact utility piece that you want to bring into your project yet, because I don't think many people have quite figured out that piece. And well, yeah, not even and. That's that's kind of it there. So just as quickly as we went yesterday, we were actually hitting that half hour point. And I wanna keep these like nice and concise, and I want to thank you for joining me here on this first one. See, it's like, I want to note that you were the inspiration for this as well. We have our standing Thursday call that normally runs an hour, where we're constantly sharing, you know, concepts, things that we saw, happenings and entertainment. And because, you know, you can't have eyes on everything. And especially in this space, it moves so quickly. It's really, really difficult to see everything. So yeah, thank you for inspiring me to do this. Thank you for being my first guest.
Of course. I'm here. I already know like the vision, like it's set. So what did I say yesterday? The day you plant the seed isn't the day you eat the fruit. So
yes. Oh my! I'm telling you, no, the soundboard is gonna be up by Monday. You know, audio engineer flow. I'm gonna have my little keyboard. You're gonna hit a. Brrr, brrr.
Oh my gosh, I'm here for it. I'll have to come
Oh
back
man.
and we'll do it again.
Yeah, nah, this isn't a one-off. But what is a one-off is I want to know what your seed phrase is. And for the uninitiated, in the Web3 space, seed phrase, SEED phrase, is a term that is given for your wallet's recovery passcode, which is either a 12 or 24 word passcode that allows you to access your crypto from anywhere or access your wallet from anywhere. And to me, seed phrase isn't scary enough because it doesn't sound like if I lose my seed phrase, I lose access to all of my funds and all of my NFTs. But that's what happens if you lose your seed phrase. So I've decided we are going to snag that, give it a more fun meaning. And I think seed phrase needs to be like the motto for your garden, you know? Like if we're growing money, you know, not even a garden, a rainforest. You know, I love my name puns.
I know.
So the seed phrase is the motto for your rainforest.
Okay.
C, what would your seed phrase be?
Interesting. I would definitely say that my seed phrase would be see it through. And this isn't a name pun because my name is Seed, but just see it through because, you know, I think this whole process, and not to get so sentimental and spiritual auntie about life and all of that stuff, but I think, you know, just like Web3, it's kind of a reflection of life. It's something new. New cycles are happening every single day. It gets very challenging. And there's been a few days where I'm just like, yeah, no, like, fuck this, like, it's whatever. But you have to see it through. You know, you have to push forward. You have to be resilient in that and, like, just not allow, like, the outside distractions to really, like, unroot you from, you know, like, what you're really supposed to be doing. So, yeah, I would just say, like, see it through and, like, see, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, why not? Life is beautiful. So.
I love it. And a very, very last thing.
Yeah.
All guests of the show get their own Money Trees note.
Yes.
What would you like your note's reserve price to be? It will go on sale once I end this episode.
Oh, geez.
Speak it into existence. You know we big on manifestation.
I know. Okay, so, you know, intention is everything. Following Solange's words, you know, do nothing without intention. So I definitely feel like it should go for 3 ETH. And the reason why I want to choose 3 is because it is considered a perfect number, the number of harmony, wisdom, understanding. You know, it's a divine number. So I just feel like starting out with 3 ETH is, you know, a nice solid foundation. So yeah.
There it is. Yeah, see, again, thank you so much for joining me and letting me know that we will not do dry runs ever.
Of course, no, seriously, thank you for even, like, thinking of this, and, like, you're a genius, you know this, so I'm just so excited for you to see really, like, your money trees grow, no pun intended, but for real, like, you deserve it more than anything.
Thank you for planting the first seed. The Gen Z Exec is... Pew, pew, pew. Yo, I'm gonna send you all the potential sound effects.
Okay.
And then we'll pick like the top 8. It's gonna get very, very musical.
Okay,
I'm telling you, I'm literally gonna have the keyboard here. Like